What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And if you are on the podcast, please do subscribe. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe and hit that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. And this is a sad story, but let's get into this conversation. BBL surgery, Brazilian butt lifts, they are one of the most requested and popular plastic surgical procedures to this day. Years ago, the breast implants were like the most popular, but now BBLs have definitely, I would say, taken over in terms of the popularity and one of the most requested. And now, I mean, it's to the point where I just feel that there's a lot that needs to be happening when it comes to not just the underground plastic surgery market, because we know that unfortunately a lot of that goes on where it's not even underground, it's just botched things that people are risking themselves to do in order to look a certain way. Well, now this story comes out of Miami, Florida, and this woman who is a grandmother, and I hate to, lead the story in that way, but when you consider the fact that someone who is a grandmother, and we know these days somebody, unfortunately, they could be pretty young and become a grandmother, but a grandmother of 11 grandchildren, she has lost her life due to a botched BBL. And that's not the only story. The surgeon who did the surgery was fined $10,000 and forced to attend a mandatory lecture. So, February 3rd, Dr. Oliver Simmons was hit with a $10,000 fine due to his part in the passing away of grandmother Tanisha Walker. In April 2022, Walker was a patient of Dr. Simmons at New Life Plastic Surgery in Miami. Walker saw Dr. Simmons for a gluteal fat grafting surgery, or BBL. And what they do, guys, with a BBL is they take fat from another part of the body, usually from the abdominal area, but what they will do is take the fat. It could be back fat, it could be leg fat, just depending on the person. They will do liposuction of fat from another area of the body, and they will transfer that fat to the backside. So WTVJ is reporting that the 46-year-old ventured from Indiana to see Dr. Simmons after a local surgeon denied her request for the surgery due to her BMI. And see, right there, red flag. I'm not saying she deserved to lose her life, but someone already told her that, look, I don't feel comfortable doing this procedure on you because of your BMI. And so she ventured elsewhere to get the work done, and she went to a different state. But I'm going to play this news clip, and then I'm going to get back into my commentary.
Leonardi reports she died of the same problem that led to the deaths of more than a dozen other women in recent years.
Tanisha Walker's family is still grieving. They say they're coping with her death by taking it one day at a time.
My mom isn't supposed to be dead. She's still supposed to be here with us.
Tanisha traveled to Miami in April for cosmetic surgery. She died following a Brazilian butt lift and lipo procedure at New Life Plastic Surgery Center. An autopsy report from the medical examiner's office shows the cause of death was a pulmonary fat embolism and ruled her death an accident. NBC6 investigators found Walker is one of more than a dozen women who have died the same way in recent years after undergoing a BBL. Doctors tell NBC6 in 2021, more people died following the procedure than any other year before. Her daughter says knowing what killed her is just one step towards getting answers.
I'm not going to say it was a relief because it's nowhere near a relief to me. I appreciate the fact that we know the truth as to what really happened.
Attorneys from New Life tell us the April procedure went well and Walker left in good spirits and was picked up by the recovery home, Chasing Dreams. The owner of the recovery home, Charlie Butler, says Walker became unresponsive in the car, so she drove her straight to the hospital instead, where Walker died. In June, Butler was arrested for operating Chasing Dreams illegally. She has pleaded not guilty and is awaiting trial. Now, Walker's daughter says they've hired an attorney and they want someone to be held accountable for her death.
I will not allow my mom's case to go cold case. I just won't. I won't allow it to happen.
Gosha says her mom went to another surgeon in Miami beforehand who refused to operate on her because of her BMI. We asked New Life's attorney about the autopsy report's findings. They denied responsibility and told us maybe Walker may have had an underlying condition she didn't know of, combining with the taxing process of surgery. The medical examiner report says Walker was obese and had a history of hypertension, prediabetes, among other things. But Gosha tells us she wasn't aware of any underlying conditions, and her mother's primary care doctor cleared her for a breast reduction before flying to Miami, which is what her family says she initially wanted. In February, another New Life patient died after a blood clot ended up in her lungs following a liposuction and tummy tuck. In Miami, Julie Leonardi, NBC6 News.
All right, guys, so you heard that news clip, and I'm really sorry to hear that this woman lost her life. And although this is an audio, I'm going to put a link to the news story so that you can see her picture, because she was a grandmother of 11 and she was 47. That's young. And she left behind a large family, 11 grandchildren. I don't know how many children she had. I mean, doesn't mean that she had to have a lot of children to have 11 grandchildren, because anyway, I'm not even going to go there. But she was beautiful. She was a beautiful woman. She did not, I hate to say it like this, she did not need to get that procedure. A lot of people don't need to get a BBL. I have a link to my other channel if you want to go there and subscribe, but I talk about beauty related things on my other channel, being someone who is in the beauty industry. And I've talked about some things with regards to plastic surgery before, and I have some upcoming content that I'm actually working on as well. So please make sure you're subscribed to my other channel. Again, a link is in the description box. But this woman lost her life for the sake of having the perfect booty. And I don't see a BBL surgery as the same, for most people especially, as someone getting breast implants or a breast lift. Because when it comes to the breasts, women, especially those who have had children, your breasts, for a lot of women, they're not the same. Especially if you've breastfed, and even if you haven't breastfed, that volume, it decreases and it makes things very uncomfortable, and you can't just get that volume back by them just lifting your breasts up and giving you a breast lift. You have to get implants in order to keep the shape. So it's not the same as somebody just wanting to have this perfectly round booty. And a lot of the BBLs, for a lot of people who get them done, they just don't even look good. I'm not saying that there's no one who's gotten them done that looks good, because there are, but it's a very risky procedure. And I appreciate the family getting legal counsel and trying to hold someone accountable. But I will say also, someone who was formerly a legal assistant who did work with attorneys who handled medical malpractice cases, they're some of the hardest cases next to defamation cases to win. Of course, they're winnable. I'm not saying that they're not. But when it comes to plastic surgery, and yeah, there could be more due diligence that the plastic surgery practices could have their patients get before going under the knife, so that they can prevent situations from, like this from happening. But it ultimately is up to the patient to make sure that their health is fine before they go under the knife. And this woman was already told by other surgeons that we don't feel comfortable doing this procedure because of your BMI. I don't know if that information was revealed to this practice that did move forward to get the procedure done for her. And yeah, I do believe that there can be some accountability at their hand for that. But also, when it comes to your life and this woman, she already had the warning signs. She should have not gone under the knife. Again, I'm not blaming her for losing her life. I am not trying to lay the blame at her feet. But I believe that the warning signs for her were there, and she really should have just held off and waited. I'm not saying that she had to never have it done at all, because she was 47 years old. She wasn't old, and she definitely didn't even look like she was 47. If you see her picture, she actually doesn't even look like she's in her 40s, to be honest with you. She still looked really good, but to undergo a procedure like that, unfortunately, it just wasn't something that she should have done. It risked her life, and unfortunately, she lost that risk. Oh my gosh. It's just a really sad story, but as you heard in the news story, there have been a number of deaths from people who have undergone this procedure just in the past couple of years alone. That's not even counting the people who have gone under the, I wouldn't even say gone under the knife, but they have gone to black market persons or people to get junk pumped in their butts to make them look a certain way. It's just a really tragic and unfortunate situation. But she traveled all the way to Florida from Indiana to get this procedure done, and then even the person who was supposed to be taking care of her, who had this business, the recovery home, that person got arrested for not operating a legal business like that. So she was just already in a bad place with what she had decided to move forward with, getting the surgery done at this plastic surgical place, and then having herself put under the care of this recovery home when this person was operating unlicensed. I don't know if the person had any experience before and the license just lapsed, or I don't know what the situation is with that. I may look up that story to see if I can find more information on the background where that is involved. But guys, I really just wanted to talk about this very sad situation. The family wants answers and they want to hold someone accountable. I get it. But also, some of this blame definitely lies at the feet of Miss, Tanisha Walker, and the fact that she chose to move forward when she was already warned that this isn't something that is recommended for you to get done based on your BMI. But for the sake of vanity, some people just don't listen. So guys, I just wanted to share this story with you. You can let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section. Thank you so much for subscribing. Again, I am Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.